From why cars can drive double the speed limit, to what if we found dinosaurs living on a remote island, my name is Melissa, and I'm here to answer everyone's burning questions about life.
I'm Danger Dolan, and what is happening right now? Why do you look like Melissa?
What are you on about, Dumbo? These are the same clothes I've worn every episode.
Oh, I think I'm having a stroke.
As long as you can hold it together until the end of the episode, we'll be fine. Now, get out there and blow some minds with your truth.
Oh boy. Why are most cars able to drive nearly double the maximum speed limit?
Cars are designed to far exceed the speed limit for performance reasons. If a car was designed with a maximum speed of 100, the efficiency and acceleration when nearing 100 would be terrible. Just like how cars struggle if they exceed 150 or more for too long. The only solution is to set a much higher temporary maximum speed in order to have a stable cruising speed. Likewise, this performance increase helps when traveling up hills, for which the engine needs to spin fast. There are a lot of situations where high performance and a big speedometer are an advantage, even if they don't necessarily help when cruising on the highway.
Yeah, cars were originally engineered from the ground up with the power of flight in mind. With a long stretch of road and a speed exceeding 200 kilometers per hour, inflatable wings would expand out of your rear doors and you would take flight. It's a shame we wimped out and settled only for ground travel.
Dolan, I don't think it's safe to rely on inflatable wings.
Aren't you supposed to have bird wings, Melissa? If so, there's nothing to worry about.
Dude, we would not survive this fall. This is awesome!
Huh. Seems like a strong emotional reaction breaks you out of whatever's happening to you. Interesting. Why is there a pyramid on the back of the $1 United States banknote?
Despite the common theory that it represents the Illuminati, the pyramid on every dollar bill is meant to be a metaphor for the United States. It envisions it as a single nation made up by a series of bricks that represent all the states of the US coming together. A pyramid was chosen to represent strength and longevity, just like the ones in Egypt. The reason it's unfinished is because the country is still growing, while the mystical eye floating above is the eye of providence, literally God's eye watching over the people.
That isn't actually a pyramid on the back, it's a secret origami. If you fold it in a very specific way, you'll notice the pyramid bricks and lines slowly taking the form of a disembodied crying baby's head. If you keep folding, you'll create a very small speech bubble coming out of the baby's mouth that reads, "My name is Darlink."
Who is Darlink? If she saw that, she'd be very upset.
You are she.
What? Don't be silly.
So weird. Can't even tease you like normal. Why are known brands better tasting and higher quality than generic ones at the supermarket?
Commonly, this is because generic brands use lower quality ingredients. But it can be a lot more complicated than that. Often, a name brand like Coca-Cola is so ingrained in culture and taste that anything else tastes wrong, even though the quality of the ingredients are the same. In that case, it's the recipe being different rather than inferior. It can also be a placebo effect. Many named companies make the off-brand products themselves using the same equipment and assembly line, but without the fancy labels and packaging. This perception is obvious when subjected to a blind taste test, as most people fail to be able to tell the difference between brands without the visual cue of a label. This creates a false assumption about brand quality simply through the power of marketing.
Come one, come all to the Dolan brand taste test. We have all your favorites: Dolanade, Dolan Juice, Dolan Fromage, Storm du Dola, which yes, I know is a cologne and thus inedible, but it's a blind taste test, so it's all Gucci.
This one is zesty. I love it. Bring me more.
But that was a worm! An unrelated worm!
I said more.
Why can some pets recognize activity on a television and others cannot?
It depends on the intelligence and personality of the pet. It's usually observed in dogs, especially ones with acute eyesight recognizing other dogs on screen. Some dogs who rely on smell or sound may not be as engaged. This has become more relevant in recent years as the refresh rate for TVs has increased. Dogs now much more easily see what's on the screen. In fact, it is known that in order for pets to see and believe what they're seeing, dogs need to view content at around 70 frames per second, while cats need around 100 frames per second.
That's because cats are PC snobs, always needing the latest hardware and highest FPS. Dogs are low IQ console plebeians, content only watching TV gaming with subpar performance, controller input lag, and frequent frame drops. It is my opinion that house pets should not be gamers.
Well, you've never met my bird friend. She can see in 4K and 144 Hz. I reckon she's smarter than I am.
And let me guess, she likes eating worms.
What? Yeah. How did you know?
A wild punt. What if we found dinosaurs living on a remote island?
As exciting as this idea is, it's entirely unrealistic. The oldest remote islands are only around 20 million years old, whereas the dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago. The only way dinosaurs would survive like this is if they could fly, which they can, because modern birds descended from them. And even if this were possible, millions of generations of evolution would cause many existing dinosaurs to look very different from the fossils we've discovered. Perhaps unrecognizably so. Is there a chance that there's some uncharted place in the world where dinosaurs have remained undisturbed for millions of years? Yes, but the odds are so immensely against this theory that it borders on impossible.
Actually, of course there are dinosaurs. The remote island is called Europe. Have you ever been to every single continent in Europe? Didn't think so, because most of them are acres of dinosaur country. Sure, you got the boring old T-Rex, the Velociraptor, but you've got the horned Woolosaurus, the Thundercat, the spiky Boysaurus, the dreaded Thick Fat, and perhaps the craziest of them all, Owl.
Aren't those all just normal animals with fancy names?
They could very well be fake, Melissa. If only someone would clarify what the deal is.
Huh? Oh, did you say something?
Nah, not a thing. How did people in ancient times figure out which herbs had specific healing properties?
People these days tend to take for granted that we benefit from decades of trial and error. Back then, people merely experimented and noted their findings. If a certain plant caused a beneficial effect, they continued to use it. And if they identified it came from a specific family, they would look at more of them in that phenotype. They would also come across ones by accident, such as bugs staying away from certain flowers, the origin of bug repellents, or penicillin being born from a sample being accidentally exposed to mold. Even Roman soldiers happened to notice that moldy bread could help wounds, not realizing they'd stumbled on antibiotics.
I too discovered the miracle of moldy bread. Personally, I like to smear them in fungus, leave them out in the sun to get all crispy, then I dip them in and out of expired milk to speed things up. All it takes is one bite and...
Are you okay?
Medicine. Dying.
So dramatic. All right, brain juice time.
Oh, that felt nice. I dunno. I kind of feel worse.
No, you don't.
Okay. How can someone fall immediately into REM if it's not until the 4th stage of sleep?
The stages of sleep are not a rigid progression from first stage to last. You'll notice this when you take a short nap and yet still dream as if you had a long sleep. This is because it's possible to advance the cycle and experience REM the moment you fall asleep, by only taking short naps at specific times of the day for weeks, months, even years. This is known as polyphasic sleep, and while it isn't recommended, it has been known to work effectively to reduce required sleep down to 2 to 4 hours a day while retaining full cognitive capacity. It's also seen in those who have narcolepsy, as the REM cycle will hit immediately upon falling asleep.
I would kill for some REM sleep. After that moldy bread, the main thing waking me up are the nightly heart attacks. But now I'm finally detoxing. I'm on the regular bread.
Oh, that's good. Now maybe you'll stop going on about this Melissa person.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was real or just a moldy bread fantasy. I wonder where she actually is.
What? What are you talking about? Where she actually is?
Well, I mean, she is still missing, right? Why is that a surprise?
No, it's just you're talking about her like she's. Don't worry about it.
I even stopped checking my phone for her messages.
It's all right. I'm sure you'll find her eventually. In the meantime, more brain juice for you.